the ticket.
All right, hour number 3, going to be a fun one. Welcome our video audience, courtesy of Dollar Loan Center. Always appreciate those guys. We're Prater in the ball game, getting you set for a pretty big Idaho weekend, even though Boise State is off this weekend, Prater, with the bye week. We got the Steelheads puck dropping on a season tomorrow night, where we will be broadcasting Idaho sports talk from the Grove Center there. What's it called again? The Grove Park, whatever it's called, man.
JP, how many times have we told him?
You know,
how long have you lived here, Johnny?
I always just call it the Grove, but Prater told me today, no, that's the actual hotel. Where we're going to be is not the Grove, it's somewhere else.
And do you remember what it is?
I wrote it down here somewhere. Damn it, guys. Why do you guys always do this to me?
You do it to yourself. We've told you 100 times.
The Grove Plaza.
Thank you very much.
That's where we're going to be tomorrow.
Give him an ASHTON Jenny sticker.
We have these ASHTON Jenny stickers, and for our video audience, that's what they look like right there. These are free. And we are giving these away all day tomorrow at the Grove Plaza when we broadcast Idaho Sports Talk in further Genty mania in this town. Your Genty fandom, Prater. We want to hear from our listeners coming up on the Double Tap Pub hotline about what they've done since they've, appreciated this Heisman Trophy favorite they have. Like, have they spent money? What do they spend on ASHTON Jenty? Like, what levels have they went to in fandom? Because our guy Hunter Johnson last week, he was waving the damn flag there at Provo for Big Noon Kickoff. So we want to know what lengths our listeners are going to celebrate this fandom of ASHTON Jenty, man.
Yeah, we think there's all kinds of fans out there doing all kinds of fun things. Somebody's got to name their dog Jenty. Somebody's got to name their dog Ashton. Maybe a kid, maybe somebody talked somebody into a brand new baby, calling him or her Ashton. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. We know that there's a million Kellens out there right now, and they're all becoming teenagers and young adults at this point. So maybe this is the kind of story that needs to stew and develop over a few years, but things are happening now. And as ASHTON Jenty is taking care of business, the fandom and the bandwagon is getting massive and packed and jammed. And we just kind of wanted to dedicate the next half hour to fans and what they're doing to celebrate the greatest running back in Boise State history.
Absolutely. And tomorrow, we're going to have our own celebration at Grove Plaza, Prater, with Boise officially becoming a sports town. No longer the big event town only, although we'll still have some events, obviously. It'll always be a cool event town. Prater, you're convinced these sellouts, these fans, the new people coming to this valley you've spent a lifetime, a career saying that this is an event town, and it is not a sports town. And tomorrow, holy shnikes, Mike Prater's going to utter words, I think, that no one ever figured him uttering.
Yeah, and we've talked about that for a long time. So it's not just like it's happened overnight. It's been happening for a while. And tomorrow we're going to give away Boise State football tickets, Boise State basketball tickets, Steelheads tickets to tomorrow night's season opener. You come down and say hi, get yourself ready, and go straight into the hockey game. So a lot of sellouts, football, basketball, hockey, and that's part of the whole fandom deal. So ASHTON Jenty is at the top of that list, but there's a lot of things to be sports fans about in this town these days.
Yeah, we only have a couple hundred of these stickers too. So if you want one, you're going to have to get down to Grove Plaza during Idaho Sports Talk tomorrow from 3 to 6, and we'll give you one for free. Let's hit up that Double Tap Pub hotline. We have a special guest holding, Prater. Hunter Johnson is his name for people in Boise that know him and some of the work he does with firstkickwasgood.com. But he was in Provo last weekend waving the ASHTON Jenty flag for everybody to see on Big Noon Kickoff. Hunter Johnson, welcome to Idaho Sports Talk, man. How the heck are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, Johnny. How you doing?
Not too shabby. Didn't plan on having Hunter Johnson on the show within the last couple of weeks, Prater. But Hunter, the flag you were waving in Provo, just how did we get there? How did all that come about?
Yeah, it's a funny story because I live in Provo. My wife's doing law school here right now, and when I heard Big Noon Kickoff was coming to BYU, like I'd never been to a kickoff show, I wanted to go absolutely. But I did some digging, asked some people that I knew around Boise State, and the consensus was that there was just one flag out there, and it was very expensive, and that they weren't sure about sending it off to the guy in Provo. I tried to tell him, first kick was good. I do some work, for Boise State, but they were a little hesitant. But fast forward a couple days, I'm still working through some things, and my wife and I actually took a trip on our anniversary, and I get a call from Jordan Morales, who works with the Blue Collar Club, which is a grassroots fundraising group for Boise State. And he calls me, he's like, "Hey man, I got the flag for you. It's coming." So we coordinate a time, getting the flag over to me. And again, shout out to my wife for being very cool about that, because it was kind of in between events, but we were kind of on a trip that day. But the flag gets there late that Friday night, and there is not a single flagpole I could find in all of Utah County. I called about 12 different hardware stores. So, I finally went to Home Depot. I bought a 12-foot telescopic cleaning pole and some zip ties. And I was going to say, this is going to work. Who knows what's going to happen? And so I get up next day about 3:30 in the morning to get in line for a big noon kickoff. There's still just a huge line, but somehow along the way, all the crowds kind of converged, and I could just get this perfect spot right in this nice window between some signs. And, they have this little TV screen that shows like where you are on the TV. And so every time it's up there, I'm just waving that flag. And I'm just getting texts from friends saying, "Hey, keep waving it. So that's me. And I got just the right spot. So it worked out great. A lot of really fun experience though, for sure.
All right, we're doing a segment on ASHTON Jeanty fandom. This is our favorite so far. Showed up on TV, and we've been talking about this story all week. First of all, did you wave that sucker for 2 straight hours? And how much does a 12-foot telescopic cleaning pole and some zip ties and a flag weigh?
Yeah, so absolutely. Every chance I could, I was waving the flag, and the problem was I probably should have got a little bit taller of a flag, to be honest, because I had it on the very full extension, very top. I had bruises on my hand the next morning. That flag was heavy. Oh. So I was just doing everything I could, just wave it back and forth. And I was exhausted every single time they clipped to the TV. But I was actually get the agenda. We need it. So I was out there.
You're the man, Hunter Johnson. Again, that's what this dude has been willing to do, Bronco Nation. Yes, he lives in Provo, so it was a little easier, but carrying an ASHTON Jeanty flag across enemy lines in Provo, Utah, if that's not guts galore, I don't know what is, Hunter Johnson. How were the folks in Provo seeing this random dude sitting around them waving this ASHTON Jeanty flag? They don't like Boise State.
It's funny. So there were definitely a few people that were pretty kind of hostile about it, like, "What are you doing here? Like, this is our show," kind of deal. But there was a lot of guys out there like, "Hey man, ASHTON Jeanty deserves it. That's a Heisman right there." Like, most people were telling me that. And it was funny because I had gone to this big noon kickoff with my father-in-law, who's one of the biggest BYU fans I know. And I had ran to go up to the bathroom really fast when we were all waiting in line. And when I did that, they had this huge camera pan across all the fans. And he took the ASHTON Jeanty flag, and he was waving it the whole time for me for the camera. So we got some support over there for the campaign.
Awesome, man.
All right, Boise State fan Hunter Johnson, let's talk about the flag and what happened next. We know it's headed to Austin. We think it's already in Austin. Hunter, no relation to Hunter Johnson. Hunter White, a former Boise State football player living in Austin, who's doing his ASHTON Jeanty fandom work this weekend. Sounds like he's going to fly. I think it's the same flag at ESPN's game day. Is it the same flag? And how did that process go? Did you have to mail it back to Boise, and then it got from Boise to Austin? How did that work?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the same flag because they only really had one flag for the longest time. They're trying to make more, but right now they just have the one, this big heavy flag. And so I got on a call with some people with the Bronco Athletic Association, with the Blue Collar Club, and we want to make sure this flag gets out. Like, we want to make sure people are seeing it on TV. And so we coordinated this thing with Hunter, and I just mailed it straight to him. So I'm in contact with him, trying to give him some tips. He got a flagpole ready, so it doesn't need to go the Home Depot route. But yeah, same flag we got sent over to him, and I think I saw him post a picture today. So I think he has it now.
I love it.
We got that.
I mean, is the plan, moving forward, Hunter Johnson, BSU super fan, first kick was good. I mean, got to try to get this thing. I mean, yeah, Old Crimson, Wazoo, tip of the cap. They've been doing this for multiple decades, but at least during this Heisman run, Hunter, 4, 5, 6 weeks left, Big Noon or College Game Day, I guess whatever's most geographically conducive. Is that kind of the plan? You've talked to your other Hunter, and you guys are going to try to keep this thing going. And how challenging do you think that's going to be, man?
No, absolutely. So that is the plan right now. Cause you mentioned Wazoo does this a bunch. There's a couple other schools. And so that's what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to find, people across the country, wherever game day lands, we got to get that flag sent over to them, make sure they get there early, get a good spot, get the flag out there. But I think it'll be a little tricky. You never know where game day is going to land. Do we have fans in Indiana? I hope so. Depends on where it goes, but I think we're going to do everything we can to make sure it gets there. And it's a fun process, finding fans across the country and all united by how much we love ASHTON JEANTY and these Broncos.
All right, Hunter Johnson, BSU super fan. Have you heard other stories? I love this story. It's our favorite so far, and I hope it keeps going. But have you, as you talk to other Boise State fans and kind of mingle in your circles, are there other stories of great ASHTON JEANTY fandom that you've heard about?
There's just a lot of work that goes behind the scenes about all of this stuff. Just like I said, initially they were pretty hesitant to send this flag out because they had spent a bunch on it. But I think right now the focus is just getting this out as much as possible. So I've seen people across. I've had people reach out to me on Twitter asking me how they can get a Heisman flag, wave it at their house, wave it, in their neighborhood. And so there's been quite a few people that are trying to get their hands on this and trying to get this message out. And it's an effort, but for him to win the Heisman, we got to do everything we can.
Hunter, if we have somebody listening right now, if we do that say does live somewhere where game day will eventually be, and they're thinking, holy shnikes, if I ever had the opportunity to play my part and do my role in the ASHTON JEANTY Heisman campaign by, waving that flag at one of these shows, I would love to help. Is there a way, do you have a social media handle or whatnot where any of these guys can maybe follow you and figure out maybe how to get involved and, get that process going? And maybe us here at KTIK, Prater and myself, we can help keep this flag going to all these shows.
Well, absolutely. I've already mentioned the Blue Collar Club is going to be some good help there. I reached out to KTIK for sure. My Twitter handle is Unter Hanson, UNTERHONSON. I would absolutely love to help. That's something we have all hands on deck for this. So anyone that's willing to do that would be amazing, because the more we can get this out there, the more people can see it on TV. I think it's going to happen. There's a lot of season left, but if we can keep doing this as fans, and then obviously ASHTON JEANTY is going to keep doing this thing, I think that'll work great.
Now, what is your level of ASHTON JEANTY fandom? We don't need to ask Hunter Johnson. He's certainly clocked in his section. Hunter, appreciate you, man. Great getting to talk to you today. We'll see you around, and well done, my friend.
Thank you. Go Broncos.
There's Hunter Johnson. Again, what have you done anything? Certainly, I don't know on that level, but what has ASHTON JEANTY fandom meant to you? Have you spent money? What are you buying tickets? We had a caller, Prater, who said ASHTON JEANTY is the reason his daughter likes football. How cool is that?
He took her to a game, fell in love with ASHTON JEANTY. We love that story.
Yeah. What lengths are you going to? You're going to travel to an away game that maybe you weren't going to go to before. Are you making any type of Heisman plans? I don't know. Let us know what you've done so far. This is on the list of things that were probably never going to happen to Boise State, right? Have a Heisman winner. Here we are right in the thick of things on a Heisman race where he is currently the odds-on favorite to win the most recognizable award you could say in all of American professional sport, or American sports. Prater in the ball game. JP, line them up. 208-424-9300. Call and let us know what you've done, how you're celebrating your ASHTON JEANTY fandom. Steelhead tickets, JP says anybody who calls and talks about their fandom is going to be in a chance to win Steelhead tickets. So heck yeah, we're giving away Steelhead tickets, JP, to opening night tomorrow night. 208-424-9300. Give us a call if you want these tickets on Prater in the ball game.
This is Ticket Traffic.
This check on the drive brought to you by